Well, hello, welcome back to the shop. Just going to make another quick video. I'm still testing, trying to get my sound better each time, and video production in general. I think if I tilt my head back a little, you can get enough light in, you can see me. That doesn't really matter because I'm going to put the helmet down in a minute and we'll go from there. You can probably already hear the helmet. Anyhow, so tonight I'm just going to make a simple little medallion. Nothing special about this. I'm just going to make something to put inside of one of the lids I made for the jar lids. Just something to cover up the inside, just give it a little special surprise when you open it up. I got a piece here. Let me see if you can see this. Okay, there we go. That's my new tailstock position with my camera. What I've done, I've got two cameras now and I can move them around, one overhead, one tailstock. You can see them in that original picture that I showed. Here, I'll go back to that real quick. So you got two cameras here. This is overhead. This is kind of a tailstock view, and I can move these. They're on goosenecks. So what I'm going to do here, I got this grains running through the wood, so it's like a bowl. So I'm going to use a bowl gouge on it, not down the center like a spindle. So I'm going to round this off a little bit, get a nice round piece out of that, and then I'm going to cut off a very thin wedge with a parting tool, and that'll be my medallion that I stick in the bottom or the top underneath one of my lids. And anyhow, it's just kind of a fun little project, and again, a test for all my equipment. So let's get going. Okay, to start off at a fairly high rate of speed. It's a small piece. And we're just going to round it out a little bit. We'll go from there. Okay, that was enough to clean that surface up. I'm just going to make a little dome. And I think you can see in that, but let me try an overhead view. You can see a little bit different angle here. Alright, see how this is going. And I got to round at least a little bit of it here. I'm already in shear scrape mode here. Just trying to refine my dome. Now my ultimate plan for this is on my jar that is Halloween themed, is I'm going to put a pumpkin face on it. So I'm going to dye it orange and then just draw a pumpkin face on it or burn a pumpkin face on it. Okay, looks like I got a little dimple in the center. I hope that's not from my drill bit coming through from the other end. We'll see if it sands out. If not, it becomes the nose. Okay, so now all I need to do is start the parting part. I like to get my piece perpendicular when I do parting. Bring it up tight, closer the better. So when I part, and I think you can see this in the overhead view, I'm making two cuts so that I don't pinch my parting tool. In a moment here, I'm going to undercut, and that'll help my thing sit down tighter also when I put it in. piece of maple I'm working with. It's pretty darn hard. It's hard maple, but on top of that it's got knots and a swirling grain pattern, so it's kind of a rambunctious little piece. Right, so that's that. I can cut the rest of it off using my saw. And I have hopefully there's a little piece, little hole there from the drill, and that'll let me center it when I put it on. So now I'm going to sand, and again I'll do this on camera, but I will speed it up in the actual final footage so you don't have to watch all the gory details of sanding. I'm slowing it down, and here away we go. I'm starting with about a 120, I think this is. Yeah, it's my 120 paper. Sometimes I start higher, sometimes lower, but I didn't spend a lot of time smoothing this with shear scraping. So. Uh-oh. Gonna take a break. Hear that sound? It means it's time to change your batteries. Just got all my battery packs rebuilt at Batteries Plus. Unfortunately, my Batteries Plus in Birmingham went out of business, but I found the guy that did them in Birmingham, and he's now doing them in Madison Heights. So, unsolicited advertisement for Batteries Plus. And looks like a pretty good surface that I should be able to stain that, or dye it. That's what I'm going to do to it. Well, standard finishing process. I'm going to put a little bit of Deft 50/50 on here. If you watch my videos, you'll see that that's kind of what I do on everything. And then I'm going to let that dry. If you also watch my videos, I sharpen my tools during this, but I'm not going to do that today, so I didn't use them enough. Okay. Sand it up. I'm going to spot in the center and go away, but like I said, I'm going to burn a nose there anyhow. It gives me a good spot for the center. I know exactly where I am. Put the one coat of Deft on between 320 and 400. And then I resanded it at 320 after it dried. And I put the 400. That's what that is. And I got a pretty good surface. Should be able to see that. There's the end picture. You can't see a lot. I'll go back to the overhead and I'm going to cut it off. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but I'm going to do it a little different than I originally thought. To start, I'm going to leave that nub on the back. I might need it. I can always sand it off. So I'm just going to thin it down, use a thin parting tool. And I'm going to make it smaller. And then I will, a little faster than that, it's sanding speed. Then I'll cut off the rest of it. But making it smaller, I'll have less sanding to do, and I got to take off whatever part of that nub I don't want. Okay, about all the further I'm going to go with it. Make sure I didn't chew up the edge at all on that. Clean. Okay, like I said, I want to keep the nub, so I'm going to saw it. Oh, I did perfect on that. You can see the hole from the wood screw. I took it down just about the right amount. There we go. So, now I still know where my center is. I have a little nub sticking out from my finial on the top, and I'm going to stick this over that. So I wanted to keep enough of this to be able to do that. The bottom's cupped a little bit, so I'll probably have to sand a little bit back, but it's perfect. Alright, so there's that little project. So see, what camera are we in? We're on this camera, so that's all there is to it. That light's terrible. Let's try a different camera, see if I get better light. Okay, turn that off. There, you can see it. So nothing difficult. Just a little flat piece, little rounded dome to it. There's the nub in the back. And I'll be able to put my little nub into that. It's the same size basically, and stick it over there, put a little glue on it, it'll be fine. So, I'm going to take this back, put some orange dye on it, get my wood burners out, put a face on it. Alright, thank you for tuning in and just checking out my test videos, and eventually I'll start doing something real. Thank you.